Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am Dr. Nik Nikam from Houston, Texas. Today we're going to find out how to prepare for a total solar eclipse. It's going to happen here in Texas. It's going to go through Texas. We might as well learn something about solar eclipse and how to prepare for solar eclipse. So let us begin with what is a solar eclipse. Solar eclipse is basically when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. The moon sort of partially or totally covers the sun. As a result, there is some darkness cast on the earth as the earth rotates on its axis. It's rotating, it's also moving around the sun and the moon. So it's moving around the sun. The question is, how often does solar eclipse happen? Well, actually, the solar eclipse is not very common. Even though the solar eclipse happens every 18 months globally, in some part of the world, somewhere on the universe. But the chances of the solar eclipse happening in Dallas, Texas, which is expected to happen on April 8, 2024, may not happen for another 375 years. So the chances are exceedingly rare. That's why people get excited. People want to know everything about. They really want to witness it, take pictures, videos, and everything, whatever you name it. And they want to document they were there when the solar eclipse happened in their lifetime. Yes, indeed, it is a very important topic that we all should be paying attention to. So let's see what else we need to know before we just go outside the house and start glaring at a total solar eclipse. When the moon is between the earth and the sun, it casts a shadow. And right in the center is where you get some sort of a total darkness or almost near darkness, which lasts for just a few minutes or so. And that is called the solar eclipse. However, the area surrounding that one, you get a whole ring of circle of area which is also seeing the solar eclipse, but it is a partial solar eclipse. And this is the umbra, the distance, the light between the moon and the surface of the earth is called the umbra, which is right in the center, that causing the total solar eclipse, and this is called the penumbra. Those are scientific terms, but most importantly, we need to worry about if you are in this particular spot on August 8th, the solar eclipse moves through from Mexico all the way to the East Coast. How do you prepare yourself for the solar eclipse? As I said, you can see a partial solar eclipse, and eventually you may see a total solar eclipse when the sun is in your particular region. When you look at it, is totally covered with darkness. You may see a ring of white sunlight, or it could be like a flare, like a annular eclipse, where you can see a circle of fiery red appearance around the moon, which is covering the sun. And this is the total solar eclipse, where the moon is completely covering the sun, and all we see is a glare from the edges of the sun. I don't know if you can see my arrow. All you see is a glare from the edges of the sun. There's a solar glare, we can see that, and sometimes we can see all these solar rays coming through behind the moon as we see them. But the next question is, this is how it actually looks in reality, where you see a bright sunshine and there's a fair degree of darkness during broad daylight time. And this is an example of real people watching real eclipse. As you can see, the sun is covered by this, you can see my arrow, a dark shadow of the moon, and around that we have this white glare, which is reflected light behind the moon. We know it's happening once in 375 years in any given particular spot. It happens to be coming to Dallas, Texas and surrounding areas on April 8, 2024, as I showed you in the first slide. And here's the path of that solar eclipse, which crosses through Mexico. It comes to San Antonio Austin, Dallas, Little Rock, then it moves on to Indiana, Toledo, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Burlington, Vermont, Buffalo, New York, and then it crosses over to the East Coast and beyond. So the time at which it arrives at Dallas, Texas is 40 minutes past 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time, as you can see here. That is 1:40 p.m. Central Daylight Time in the Dallas area. So actually I am in Houston. So Houston, we may not get the full effect of this total solar eclipse, but we may see a partial solar eclipse, but still it may have some lingering effects in the surrounding area. As I showed you in the previous picture, there's a ring which is beyond this is the outer ring which covers a much larger area, and probably Houston is going to fall in this outer circle where we still have to be prepared for watching the solar eclipse with proper gear. I'm going to talk about that. And here is the path. As you can see, it goes through San Antonio, and Houston is here, right here where I live, and then it goes through Waco, Dallas, Texarkana, Little Rock, Indianapolis, Columbus, and beyond. Okay, and here's the time. Dallas, 12:23 p.m. begins, and total solar eclipse happens at 1:40 p.m. Maximum effect is lasting for 2 minutes, 1:42 p.m. and the total solar eclipse ends at 1:44 p.m. The whole thing lasts for 4 minutes on Dallas, Texas, which is in its direct pathway. Houston is in the outer ring of that solar eclipse, so we may see something less severe than what people in Dallas would be able to witness when they watch the solar eclipse. Okay, what are the dangers of watch a solar eclipse, especially if you're trying to very excited and you want to see the solar eclipse? What do you need to do? First, you need to know what are the dangers of because the moon is covering the sun. It is said that the sun has to put out a lot more energy towards the earth. There is sun's output power which exceeds what the eyes can handle, human eyes can handle, and as a result of that we can see varying degrees of damage to the eyes. It can be total blindness, eclipse blindness. It can burn your retina, which is the inner circle of the eye, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Even if you wear glasses, but remember your regular glasses are worthless, and sometimes you may get fake eclipse glasses. So I'm going to tell you what particular brand you need to look for, and it has to have certain specifications for it to be safe to use them to watch the solar eclipse. And let's look at what can you do when a high ultraviolet rays enter your eyes. Ultraviolet rays can damage the macula, which is the central point where the beams are focused. Just as you saw the beams from the sun focusing into the earth's surface through the moon, the same way the beams are converging into this particular point where it sends signals to the brain to see what is in front of it. And this is the retina, which covers the inner lining of the little sac filled with liquid. Actually, it's not empty, it's filled with liquid. See, here's the central area, which is, as we can see, here is the central area, and this is the macula, is slightly away from the arteries that are supplying the retina, and there could be a damage to the macular or retina, causing retinopathy. Okay, now this is April 8th. It's around 1:30 p.m. You're ready. You want to see, your kids are excited, they want to see the solar eclipse. What do? Not so soon. Just relax, because you need to have proper gear to watch the solar eclipse. It's particularly children, because their eyes are very sensitive and they can be exposed to high radiation, high ultraviolet rays, which can damage the retina, damage the macula, and may lead to total blindness. There are lots of things that are sold in the market. It's supposed to be ISO certified. There's a specific number there, which let me see if I can find that number. Whatever it says ISO certified, but that's not good enough. So you really need to look into this NASA recommendation, which is Eclipse safety website that talks about using glasses that comes with ISO compliance label or standard of 12312-2, or it may be iOS 12312-2:2015, something like that. That specifies that's the thing that's been recommended by the NASA for safe viewing of the solar eclipse. So ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching how to prepare for a solar eclipse, which is going to happen on April 8th. And if you are in Texas, it's going to hit San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas. These places are going to be hit around 1:40 p.m. Dallas local Central Standard Time. So make sure you have this NASA certified ISO viewing glasses before you venture out into the daylight and trying to see the sun total solar eclipse. I hope this has been useful to you. Thank you so much for watching this presentation, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video.